Nintendo? Rant? I'd like to do this, but I sure can't do it alone. I got it!
The fuck?
Hey, you're a Nintendo, right?
No, I'm a PC.
This guy's ranting about Nintendo. You wanna join?
I will serve me goddess well and smite the unpure.
Dude, that sounds so lonely.
Hey, not in front of Lefty.
Why do you hate me, Nintendo?
Probably because you're a dick. That's just my best guess, though.
The Wii U's a fucking nightmare. It's out there. It needed to be said by me.
Well, that's just egotistical. Didn't your parents teach you tolerance?
When the Wii U first came about, people saw the tablet and were like, oh cool, you can take this thing on the go on your house, maybe even outside of the house. You don't have to rely on the TV solely.
You know what I love? People making up statements to justify their badly constructed complaints.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing it firsthand. Satan possessing a live vessel.
False. Well, why would you want to play a game on your TV on your tablet? So you have to do this.
You do realize you don't need to look at your tablet while playing the game on the TV, right? It's merely an option with whatever view you want to look at. And hey, the screen on the tablet is convenient, because say you want to play on the Wii U, but someone else wants to catch a show on television. Well, you can switch the TV onto the cable or satellite or whatever you use for television, and you can still play on the Wii U using the gamepad.
You do realize that you only have to do this when you're playing games with the maps. Yes, there are exceptions, but usually the player using the gamepad, such as in New Super Mario Bros. U, is focused on it. Or, you know, the gamepad is just for off-TV play.
Constantly do this. This is fun. I prefer to not watch my TV and watch a tablet at all times.
Okay, can I ask a serious question? What drooling scuzz monkey actually plays the Wii U like that? If you raise your hand, guess what? You're playing it wrong.
Clearly someone wouldn't like tablets.
What? Later people thought maybe it was going to be used for maps and street views and things like that. Like in Zelda, it could be your map and your HUD. But it turns out you need to look up and down so often it becomes a hindrance. It's a bother.
Either you played some really obscure Wii U games, or you just don't know how to play them. Because when you actually play them the way you're meant to, you don't have to look down so often. Because if you play the way you're playing, you'll probably play way slower than you could have if you just took the time to look, then look back up. Seriously, you're just exaggerating.
And already, games are starting to not use this thing at all.
Which begs the question, why are you bitching about it?
Well, fuck innovation, I guess. You give no detail, so I have no choice but to assume it's that.
This is the Wiimote all over again. I hated that shit when it came out, and now I hate the tablet. Nintendo, just give me a system with a regular controller. Is it hard? Is it hard to do that?
And guess what? They have, in the form of the Classic Controller Pro, and still allowing GameCube controller support with the new GameCube adapter. All Nintendo are doing is giving people more options to play, just in case some people want to play a certain way. Some people play using Wiimotes and nunchucks. Some people play with classic controllers. Some people play with GameCube controllers. Some play with the gamepad. Nintendo have given the people who like their content all these options to play. So if you don't like one option, good for you. There's 4 others you can try out. Now stop crying or I'll get the fucking pacifier.
It is probably going to be easier for a developer to get original ideas and be innovative when they have unique and new tech to work with.
Are innovating. We love the games, not the controller. The 64 controller was dumb as fuck. The Wiimote was dumb as fuck. The Wii U tablet is dumb as fuck. Give me the GameCube controller. Hell, you've been doing it 3 times over now!
Well, gee, it's almost like they do that to satisfy people like you who think Nintendo only care for a casual crowd. Pfft, that's stupid. Who would think that?
You have to take into consideration they'd have to do quite a bit to map the controls to the Wii U gamepad, which will take quite a bit of time.
The GameCube had the game controller, obviously. The Wii had backwards compatibility with the GameCube controller. And guess what, folks? It's happening a 3rd time. Wii U's now introduced a dongle for Smash Bros. Wii U, so you can use the GameCube controller for that game only. For that game only. What the fuck?
Be real with me. What other game besides Smash Brothers did you ever use the GameCube controller for? Hell, I have plenty of games that allow you to use the GameCube controller to play the games. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Naruto Clash of Ninja Revolutions 1, 2, and 3, Knight's Journey of Dreams, Rayman Origins, Klonoa Wii, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Mario Kart, and Sonic Colors. None of them I have ever used a GameCube controller for. Besides, you can always get a Classic Controller Pro, so what's the big deal?
Yes, we all know you want to be the AVGN, but seriously, that is such an obviously stolen joke from the angry video game nerd.
I love Nintendo games.
I just hate how they changed their optional controllers.
Mario, Star Fox, Zelda, Donkey Kong, all of them. But I don't like their systems. I haven't liked their systems since the Super Nintendo.
But didn't you just compliment the GameCube controller a moment ago? GameCube was years after the Super Nintendo, so what is it, Adam?
Haters gonna hate, Taylor Swift. I know what you're thinking. You warned me. The Nintendo fanboys are gonna be out in full force, yelling at me that graphics don't matter.
Okay, this really pisses me off. Whenever people are presenting an argument and are pretty much saying that anyone who disagrees with them or calls them out on their bullshit are haters or fanboys. Sir, it's time for us to look at the dictionary. Opinion, noun. A view or judgment, not about something necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So, your point is pretty much null and void. Good day, sir.
That the technology doesn't need to catch up. It can stay stagnant as long as the games are good.
And really, that's all that should matter. I mean, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom isn't the most stellar game to look at, but it's still a fun game to play. What's your point?
Fuck you. That's not how the world works, people. You can have it your way, Burger King. You can have the best of both worlds, Miley Cyrus. And don't
Really? You're going to make a big issue about how Nintendo only focus on making their games good and not their visual presentation. Didn't you just go off saying you love Nintendo's games? Now all of a sudden you're bashing the games for not living up to today's standards? And all because of a fucking tablet. Better keep you away from a Kindle. God forbid you start bitching about Amazon next.
worry, old Adam Bear, self-nicknamed, has the solution.
Sir, please don't stroke your own cock on camera.
Listen in.
It'll make a
Step
much
one.
less idiotic
In
video.
2015, possibly early 2016, announced the new Nintendo. You will call it the Nintendo.
What exactly is a new system with a new name going to do for the company? It takes money to make new hardware for the console itself, the controllers, and lastly manufacturing them so they can multiply the units and make them sellable in stores. Making a new system now while the Wii U is still really new seems like a waste of money.
People are already having difficulties with the name Wii U, and people refer to the NES as the Nintendo. So wouldn't it be even more confusing to have a system called the Nintendo?
Let's not alienate those players, but also make this new Nintendo backwards compatible. Whether that's digital, whether you can take your bot games and bring them over digitally, or whether or not you can put the shitty CDs in. I don't care what you do. Let's not totally alienate the people that were dumb enough to buy this thing.
Psst. It's called the eShop. Got all your favorite classic games on there, fully compatible with your system and controllers. Try using it.
Step 3. Nintendo Playbook time. You launch with Zelda. The same Zelda that's going to be coming out on the Wii U, with better graphics for the Nintendo 2, the new Nintendo, whatever we're going to call it.
Zelda's going to save the system. Really. The game is being built around the Wii U's hard drive, which if Nintendo were to port it on a new system, they'd have to alternate the settings of the game to make it compatible with the system. So that's more money going into making a new console, controllers, manufacturing, and porting a game, which also will need money to be manufactured. Not to mention play tests, which will have to be done to make sure it works on the systems, which also costs money. Please do me a favor and never open a business.
As long as it's not called Wii Fuck You.
Okay, I think the name is weird too, but it's no better than Xbox One. Besides, why should the name be a factor to deciding if a console is good or not? Newsflash, dumbass, people didn't bitch about the Xbox One when it was first announced just because the name was dumb. They bitched because of the stupid policies that went with the system.
Step 4. You give it the same hardware specs as a PS4 or an Xbox One. I don't care which one. I don't give a shit.
God fucking damn it all. Okay, you're starting to remind me of some guy I know at college who literally says the exact same things in this video. Oh, be more like the PS4, be more like the Xbox One. The Wii U has already put out beautiful looking games and even went to HD. Smash 4, Hyrule Warriors, Zelda Wii U for just some trailers, Bayonetta 2. Nintendo have been pushing out very well polished games, but you're going to bitch just because they're not pretty enough to you. Besides, pretty graphics don't make a good game. I mean, look at Epic Mickey 2. beautiful visuals and vibrant colors are everywhere. The whole wasteland is ironically alive in detail and expression. Yet it suffers from a terrible story, worse camera controls than the first, and an uncooperative AI that pretty much forces you to do co-op if you want to progress in the game at all. The game is terrible, yet it has beautiful visuals. So no, better graphics do not mean better game, nor does it mean better console. Let's look back to 1991 with the 3DO. It had very visually impressive games for its time, far surpassing Genesis and Super Nintendo. I dare you to name me 5 games that were on that system. I'll give you Plumbers Don't Wear Ties as a freebie.
As long as third parties can put their games on your system, as long as we can have the next 17 Ass Creeds and the next 25 Maddens.
Sega, Capcom, Namco, Konami, Platinum Games, Activision, Square Enix, Ubisoft. Where have you been, numbnuts?
Just get them in there. People like them. They want their Call of Duties and their Marios.
Have you seriously forgotten that the Wii has Call of Duty games on it? So has the DS. And guess what? People still prefer to play Call of Duty on their PS3, Xbox 360s, or their PCs if they had it on there. And you want to know why? The controls sucked absolute balls on the Wii and DS versions. Why bother wasting money licensing a game on a system that's going to be trumped by PC sales? That's what Steam is for, not Nintendo.
Would it also kill you to give me a Pokemon game for my new Nintendo? Maybe a fully 3D rendered world where I can roam around as Ash Ketchum or Red? No. Fuck Red, it's Ash Ketchum.
X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, what more do you fucking want? I mean, yeah, they're not console titles, but we fucking have them, and you're just blatantly ignoring them. Also, you pick Ash Ketchum over Red? Sir, you have a poor taste in Pokemon trainers.
I don't want to need to buy a Wiimote with the Wiimote Plus bullshit. I don't want to have a tablet for some games and a classic controller and a GameCube controller and whatever other fucking dumb dildo waving wand thing you come up with next. Just give me one controller and let me play the games.
Then don't fucking use them! Also, you're bashing on the GameCube controller again, despite earlier in the video complimenting the GameCube controller. Pick one and stick with it. Well, Nintendo have tried that, but here you are, bitching about it anyway. See, this is why we can't have nice things.
So let me play them. That's it. You can hate me if you want to, Nintendo fanboys. I am a Nintendo fanboy.
Could've fooled me.
Alright? I'm just not going to be duped again. I want a system that I could stand behind. And this isn't one of them. The Wii U needs to go. If you have one, I'm sorry, but you should agree with me. It's already dated.
Hey, allow me to steal a quote from you earlier, okay? Fuck you. I'm not going to agree with some two-faced graphics whore who bitch about Nintendo not delivering on what they want despite already doing all that shit you've wanted even prior to the Wii U's release. Hell, what's to say Nintendo do make this new system exactly the way you want it, but the controller isn't exactly how you wanted it? Are you going to bitch again about how Nintendo are losing their touch?
Alright? Third parties cannot bring their games to the system any longer. It's already been established with the new Assassin's Creed.
Dipshit, that wasn't even Nintendo's call. Okay, history time. After the poor reception Rayman Legends got being a Wii U exclusive, Ubisoft started making Rayman Legends multi-platform. After that, because the Wii U version got miserable sales compared to PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, Ubisoft told Nintendo, hey, we got this huge lineup of games for the Wii U, but we're not going to let you have them unless you can prove the Wii U can sell our games. So the whole no Assassin's Creed on the Wii U wasn't even Nintendo's call, it was Ubisoft's. Besides, if Nintendo aren't allowing third parties, then why are they still allowing games from Sega to be on their systems and showing more support for indie titles? Now you're just lying.